We walk amongst ghosts every day, be it sights of war and strife, or poverty and horror. The twisting, snaking paths are beautiful, but can lead us to some things undiscovered and terrifying. From the Mississippi Delta to the jungles of the Far East, the dead demand to be acknowledged. This is what we do here. Welcome to the House of Asher. Hello, everybody. Yes, and again, welcome to the House of Asher. I am your host, Steve Asher, your humble scribe. Would you, I don't know if you'd say scribe, your pod scribe, your podcaster, be it, your master blaster. Who is the master? Sure enough. Anyway, like I said, this is Steve Asher, and you are listening to the House of Asher. You can hear this on YouTube, Spotify, iHeart, Spreaker, which is the home base of this podcast. Whole lot of heck of different places. And then you can always check me out at steveasherstudios.com. Also, just Google me. I'm out there for good or for bad, just like a lot of stuff. You're going to find me out there. So anyway, my love to everybody. Hope you're having just a splendiferous day. This is a Wednesday, which is technically my Saturday. I'm off for my regular day job, and that's why I'm on the mic doing my thing with y'all lovely people today. I was in touch with a friend of mine who had lived in a spot not too far from me, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, Hoptown, H-Town, Hopkinsville, however you want to call it, home of the body bag. It's not the home of the body bag. It's actually a pretty nice area, a lot of good people there. But we were touching on just different kind of weird stuff around that area. Hopkinsville is real close to Kelly, Kentucky, obviously world famous now with the Goblins, the Kelly Goblins. And this ties in with, different families. Geraldine Stith, really great writer, sweet as pie, as we'd say here in the South. Helped me a lot get my first books together. And as always, an inspiration and just a sweetheart of a gal. But I was talking to my friend Jeremy Leneve, who is the lead singer and guitarist of a band known as the Godawfuls. Now, when I first met young Jeremy, he was still a high school kid and rode around in a little Beetle. He was a skateboard kid and earned the nickname Stitch because he was forever falling, flipping, crashing. Apparently, the wheels stayed on the ground. Apparently, because he's a pretty good skater. I've seen him do it, and he's been featured in different things. But he had a love of all kinds of music. He loved punk. He loved all kinds of stuff, rockabilly, whatever. Anyway, and he now fronts the band, the Godawfuls, which is a really groovy little band. You can check them out actually on Bandcamp. If you go to Godawfuls, that's Godawfuls, one word, all lowercase and together, .bandcamp.com, you can actually check out brand new song, literally just hit the airwaves, or the whatever the waves are that come through here, the electro waves. Digging a hole, not digging a hole is with an apostrophe, because that's how we do. So anyway, check it out. If you like it, please pick it up. It's a really good band, really always positive. He always kept me kind of lighthearted. When we first started playing together, originally he started out on drums. Like most musicians, you kind of have a hand in a lot of different stuff. So it's one of those things where, you grow as a musician, you grow as a person, you just grow, baby. We're all little seeds, and we're just trying to grow. And so anyway, but yeah, they're a three-piece, and they don't sound like a three-piece. That's a compliment. Neither did Motorhead, right? Big sound, good sound. Definitely has elements of Ramones. I can still hear, elements of the Digits. It was a band that we both jammed on. We jammed a lot on the Pixies and Frank Black and all that stuff for any of you guys that was in sort of the indie circles. But anyway, a couple of things that we talked about were some locations that were either Hopkinsville or Hopkinsville adjacent. Okay, see, now you have Octagon Hall, and this is like a very historic spot. I think it was built like 1846, 47, something like that. I'm sorry, I don't have any information in front. I'm just kind of freeballing in here. But it was a Civil War hospital, or it acted as a Civil War hospital. People talk a lot about hearing disembodied voices, of apparently what were soldiers, apparitions of soldiers, things moving around on their own. There was even talk of a woman in white, a ghostly woman in white who roamed the halls and still roams the halls. And they believe it was, I guess, a former resident, possibly the missus of the home, the madam of the house. And so, yeah, that's pretty trippy. Another one that I've actually went and checked out, investigated, was Riverside Cemetery. And always has been like a big location for especially fledgling ghost hunters trying to get their legs, learn their equipment. Anyway, same sort of thing. You hear about ghostly figures wandering around the tombstones. And there was one very particular story. There was a spectral woman in white. It always seems like, I don't know, why don't they change it up? Why don't we have the ghostly woman in mauve? Why don't we have the ghostly woman in polka dots, the polka dot lady? That's what I want to hear. If anybody has a story on like a very well-dressed, affluent-looking ghost, let me know, because I want to hear the story of the polka dot lady. And you can do that by leaving a message at the YouTube comments. And as always, please like and share that. Or you can reach me at my email, all lowercase and together, ILASHERS, that's IL Ashers, at yahoo.com. I'm still rocking the Yahoo, guys. It hasn't failed me yet. But, yeah, and they would talk about this woman, and you would hear her mournful wails and cries echoing through the night, which, you know, you occasionally will hear stories of laughter, but it ain't usually the laughter you want to hear at 3 in the morning, you know what I'm saying? But there definitely are happy spirits. I've been in a graveyard in LBL, which is Land Between the Lakes, and was at a spot where there had been a lot of deaths when the Spanish flu come through. Decimated a whole generation of kids. Anybody on waterways, their kids were dead. Just that's how it was, almost exclusively. And I would go through there and kind of act like I'm doing like peekaboo, like I don't see you, where you're at, you know, kind of like you're playing tag or something. And you would hear little kids laugh and go, oh, they see me. They were happy. It was heartbreaking, but I would much rather hear a child having fun, like they're on this eternal, you know, recess, having fun. You know, I'd like to think when they're not there, they're with their parents. But, you know, it was sweet. It touched my heart. So, for me, it was just a real sweet thing. I probably should also mention the Bethel College. It's also known as Bethel University, and supposedly was the most haunted campus in Kentucky, which, you know, West Kentucky University is also a trip, but that's another story. The area, it's now closed, that was known as Harvey Hall, said that there was tons of activity, ghostly, shadowy figures. Shadowy figures are the worst. Oh my God. It's never good. It's never good. They're never going to give you some winning lottery tickets. They're never going to, you know, lead you to the lost Dutchman treasure. It's always something gnarly. Just say no to shadowy figures. Anyway, eerie sounds, unexplained flickering lights, 99% chance of demons. That's what some people say. Also, there's a legend that purports that there is a ghost of a former student who died tragically in a fire and supposedly still roams the building. I don't have a lot of details. I've heard everything from it almost looks like a shadow with smoke trailing behind it, which is pretty metal, to some people has reported of a half-incinerated young person walking, still with visible flames and skin peeling and falling off their bodies. Holy crap. I don't want to see that. Especially if it's I guess they're college-age kids, but I still want to see a kid on fire. That's not cool. I'm way against that. No way do I want that. But trying to think. I think there was one more about it was either a house or I know the federal building. Now, it's now the home to the Penrose Area Museum. Now, supposedly a former postmaster, he had passed away on the premises, supposedly has been seen by staff and visitors who will hear footsteps, again, the classic disembodied voices, and unexplained cold spots, which, honestly, as hot as it is here in Western Kentucky, I could use a few, because that's where I'm going to be sleeping. Well, at least until I start levitating. But they have talked about even seeing a glimpse of a ghostly figure of a postmaster himself, clad in 19th century attire. So, man, talk about going postal and staying postal. Jesus Christ. Woody House. That's it. I'm sorry. Again, my brain is, like I said, I do like 16-hour shifts, so my brain is on autopilot most of the time. The Woody House ended up becoming a restaurant. It was a very historic home. And I think the most famous story had to do with a former owner. What's her name? Helene or Helen or Haley? Probably not Haley. It's Brittany. There's not too many ghosts named Brittany floating around. There's not too many ghosts. You know what I'm saying? I want to see, I want to see, beware. Here is the ghost of Kyle. Here's the ghost of, I don't know, Zach. Yes, the spirit of the famous television band Zack Attack haunts these premises. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, Helen, that was her name, died under mysterious circumstances. That's code for her husband did it. I'm pretty sure. If not, somebody did it. Or she was with the wrong individual of power and got whacked or something. A lot of women just disappeared back in the day. That's not cool. It's really not cool. But anyway, the way I understand it, diners and even staff have reported seeing her apparition in a what? Okay, I'll give you a second. What color is the dress? Any idea? Is it a beautiful, gray and black ensemble? Maybe something pinstripe. Maybe something with shoulder pads. Maybe she's got like a power 80s outfit. Kind of what was her name? What was the girl from Romance in the Stone? I'm blanking on her name. Leave it in the comments. Power chick. Kathleen Turner, somebody like that. Nope. White dress. And apparently they would encounter cold spots. Some say she had a mischievous side, which probably what got her killed in the 1800s or whatever. That generally, that and we all know what time it was. Apparently, glasses and silverware have been known to move on their own. What? Yeah. I don't have a problem. I mean, I jokingly say, hey, if you're going to be here, feel free to use the vacuum. Just not at 3 a.m. Maybe while I'm gone. That's not going to bother me. You want to put away some laundry? Please have at it. And honestly, gosh, if that happened, I'd say, well, what do you like? What do you need? I'll make sure that you got it. But you know what, folks? That's the end of this podcast. So, as the trees and the shadows grow long, make sure to watch out for the darkness, and as always, stay scared.